recording. Alright, hi guys, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Mariama and I make videos on health, fitness, and wellness, and then vlogs here and there. So this is my very first Q&A and I'm very excited. So about maybe like a month ago, I posted on the community tab for people to ask me questions. Most of the questions that I'll be answering in today's video actually came from my gallon of water a day challenge, so I will link that in the card above. But I kind of sifted through all the comments and came up with some questions that people were asking me. Most of them were repetitive, so I have like 10 questions that were very common that I'm going to go ahead and answer. So I'm going to go ahead and answer those questions now. So if you see me looking down, I am recording on my phone, so I wrote the questions down on a piece of paper, so I'll be looking down off and on. So the first question is, what is my height and my weight? And what was my heaviest weight and my smallest weight? So I am 5'3", and I'm currently averaging between 125 pounds to like 127 pounds. My heaviest weight, this is not including my 2 pregnancies, is 152 pounds. So my smallest weight was 116 pounds. I feel like I have hit a sweet spot, so like 125 pounds, maybe to like 130 pounds is probably what I'm going to be maintaining throughout my fitness journey. So the next question is, did the 4 pounds come off after I stopped the gallon of water challenge? And the answer is no, because I basically changed my eating habits as well. I do drink more water overall, but not every day I drink a gallon of water. So the more active I am, the more water I drink. So I average between half a gallon, which is about 64 ounces, to a full gallon, which is about 128 ounces. So the weight did not come back on because I continue to eat healthy and I continue to exercise as well. So the next question is, did I change my diet while I was doing the gallon of water challenge? And the answer to that is yes. It would have been counterproductive essentially to keep eating crappy while I am hydrating. So I didn't change my diet drastically because I do believe in the 80-20 rule, eating everything in moderation. So I really did focus on eating healthy whole foods, eating a lot of vegetables, eating a lot of fruit, and definitely hydrating. So if you are going to be doing that challenge, I highly would recommend that you do change your diet and you try and eat more nutritious foods, because you're going to see more results in the long run. So the next question is, have I ever been overweight? No, I really haven't been. For my height, which is 5'3", the average weight is about 113 pounds to 141 pounds or 142 pounds. So I've never really been overweight. I've been over that weight by like 10 pounds. But when you look at my body type, I have a very muscular body type from playing sports all of these years. I didn't look like I weighed 152 pounds, but that was my heaviest weight. I don't consider it overweight, but I have a habit of overeating, so I just outed myself. But I've told you guys this before, that when I am sad, when I am anxious, my coping mechanism basically is food. So I got to that weight because I was overeating. And so it wasn't overweight, I would say, but it definitely wasn't a healthy weight that I felt comfortable in. And that's basically why I went on this fitness journey, to try and eat more healthier foods and try to be consistent both nutritionally and then also in the gym as well. So somebody asked me, have I ever competed in a fitness competition? Which is funny, because after I got married in 2012, and the year after that I started getting into Instagram and started getting into lifting, and ran across somebody who was essentially an online fitness coach, And so I signed up and I started training for a bikini competition, which was just the wrong thing for me to do. My body type really was not set up to be a bikini competitor. If anything, I think I probably would have done better doing physique. But long story short, I ended up not doing that after like 8 weeks in. It was a lot of training on top of my schoolwork. It just got to be a lot. And then I have a chronic history of neck, shoulder, and back pain. And with the training, it just got really bad. So I ended up giving up. I don't regret it one bit, but it was interesting just seeing what the process is to try to get to the stage. So essentially, and it really did open my eyes to what healthy eating really is about. And that's kind of when I started to really know how to look at foods, how to look at macros, and what's really good for me versus what's not. So somebody also asked what exercises are good for each body part. When it comes to strengthening, as long as you're staying consistent, all of it really is good for you, as long as provided you're using good form. When it comes to my glutes, which is something I am really working on, I am very quad dominant. So I like doing hip thrusts. I like doing Romanian deadlifts, which focuses on your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, and your rectus spinae as well. And I also like doing Bulgarian split squats, which works your glutes, your quads, and your hamstrings. For legs, I like doing lunges and back squats. For my back, I like doing the lat pull down and the seated back row. And also bent over rows, I like doing those as well. And then for my shoulders, which I hate working shoulders, they are very weak. That's probably why I don't like working them, but I really should be doing them more often. When I do my shoulders, my favorite exercises basically are overhead presses, front raise, and then lateral raises as well. So somebody else was asking what it was first like when I became a mother. So my daughter just turned 5, so when I got pregnant, it was the absolute best feeling in the entire world. Giving birth to her being my first was not traumatic, I would say, but people don't really tell you what it's like giving birth. So I was in labor for well over like 24 hours, and it was a bit struggle to get her out, but after birth, I did start working again after maternity leave. I took about 12 weeks off with her, and then when I went back, I was full-time. So the biggest struggle that I had was just trying to figure out how to balance work, balance being a mother, balance being a wife, and kind of making all that work. And now having 2 kids, it's still a struggle, and it's still very much something that I'm constantly working on and trying to get better at. So it doesn't get easier per se, but I think you just learn over time to balance things and try and figure out what's priority versus what's not priority. And then another thing that people really don't tell you about is how hard breastfeeding is. So with my daughter, I breastfed her until she was 2 years old exclusively, and then my son, I breastfed him until he was 18 months old. But when you are a working parent, particularly when you are working full-time, it is really hard. And if you don't have a lot of support from your boss or your coworkers, it can really make it hard to continue to produce and breastfeed your child. So I was very fortunate. The places that I was working were very encouraging, and they gave me enough time to be able to pump. But still, it was hard because you have to find time to do it. You have to make sure you're hydrating. You have to make sure you're eating enough food. So, but I did it, and I'm not going to be pumping or breastfeeding for any time soon. Someone also asked what tips I have for losing weight. I would say overall, you have to really want it. You got to be tired of where you're at, and you have to really want to live a healthier and better life for yourself. So some tips that I would recommend is you need to find like a support system, whether it's your family or your friends, or maybe I was tracking my macros on MyFitnessPal, so you can also find an online community through there. So I would definitely recommend something like that. try and find some books either at the library to try and help you if you really don't know what foods are healthy or even how to go about that, or figuring out recipes that are good for you versus ones that are not. Go to your local library and rent out books that have healthy recipes that you can really learn how to eat better. And I would also recommend that you hydrate. So drinking water is great for your body. It really helps to really transport those nutrients to your body. It's great for your skin, it's great for digestion, and it keeps you fuller, so drink water. And then the last thing that I would recommend is to write things down. So I had a notebook, I think I shared that in a previous video, I think my first cut. But that was very helpful for me to write things down so I knew what I was eating, how it made me feel, and I did that for 90 days, and I think it definitely made a big difference. The one that I got from Marshall's, I think. My sister-in-law actually got it for me, and it cost about $6, so that definitely helped me to stay on track. So somebody also asked me, how do I juggle motherhood, working out, and working full-time? Like I said before, it is hard. But there really is no other alternative. I want to be healthy, I want to have energy, so that's why I work out for myself and for my kids. So I do have a calendar that I write everything in, from the meals that we're having, from doctor's appointments, from errands, so it definitely helps me to keep on track. I write down if I'm going to work out in the morning or the afternoon, what I'm going to do. So I do that like a week ahead of time, so that way I'm already ahead. And so that's really how I stay organized. I'm not 100% at it, so some weeks I'm better, some weeks I fail, but overall, just having the calendar helps me to stay on track for the most part. And then the last question is, somebody asked me any tips on eating healthier. So like I said earlier, somebody, when they asked about tips for losing weight, for eating healthier, it's basically the same thing. You have to really want it, and you have to be tired essentially of where you are and how you're feeling. I know for me, when I eat unhealthy food, particularly for more than a week, I feel crappy, I feel sluggish, I feel moody, grumpy, all the above. So I got to a point where I was just tired of feeling that way, and I decided that I was going to make a change because I knew overall it would make me feel better, and I would feel better from the inside out. So you have to really want it. And then just take it day by day, one step at a time, and I think by doing that you'll be able to reach your goals. So that is the end of the video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if there's any other videos you guys want me to post. I'll be happy to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.